Do you remember me, nigga?
My mama don't know. Quiet.
That's why my eyes wide open. If you sleep, you fell.
So chin up and let your glow take center stage from every angle.
For the lives of our daughters and sons, there really needs to be just one love.
I am from Hawaii. In the dirty and quiet part of your favorite vacation, you must understand.
One hand on the handlebar, cop chasing around me like, you can't ride on the sidewalk, living out my best life.
When I say CC, you say P. CC, CC. When I say drop the, you say Mike. Drop the, drop the. When I say I love, you say poetry. I love, I love. Give it up for drop the mic. Let's get it started.
What's up, CCP? How y'all feeling today? I am so excited to hear that. Welcome to the second audition show for season 6 of Drop the Mic. Give it up for all our student poets who are here to perform. We are really very, very excited. Last week we had our first audition show. We identified our top 5 poets from last week. And of course today we're gonna have our top 5 poets from this week who the judges will pick later on at the end of round 2. And then they will also be joining our poets from last week in the final showcase, which will be next Tuesday, October the 22nd, okay? So just to go over the rules, each poet will be called to the mic, and they have 3 minutes and 15 seconds to perform their poem. If they go over 3 minutes and 15 seconds, then they will be penalized on their scores by the judges, a half point for each second they go over. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to introduce our wonderful panel of judges. Please put your hands together for our judges. So the judge closest to the audience is Alicia Dantzler. Please make some noise for Alicia. She has been a judge since season 1. She is also a graduate of Community College of Philadelphia. We're so very proud of her. Please give it up for her being graduate of CCP.
I've been here at CCP since 2008, involved with the Poetry Club, with Dr. Myers, and seeing some of the other poets.
And next to her, we have Corey Delaney. Please put your hands together for Corey. He is a support coach in the Center for Male Engagement here at Community College of Philadelphia.
The way that I think students can best succeed in public speaking is to connect to the audience's emotion.
And next to Corey, we have Ills Wills.
Drop the Mic lets us know that different walks of life, different people have the same problems, and the same people have different problems.
And next to Ills Wills, we have Danny Simmons. Please make some noise for Danny. So Danny Simmons was actually one of the original producers of Def Poetry Jam, which was on HBO.
I'm just really, really happy to be here and seeing these young poets do their thing.
I'm Dr. Michelle Myers, and I'm an associate professor here at Community College of Philadelphia, and I am your host for this afternoon, and I am the faculty advisor of the Spoken Word Poetry Club. So are you all ready to hear some poetry? Everybody say yeah? Yeah! So happy to hear that. And coming to the mic now to kick everything off is Brad Llewellyn. Please put your hands together for Brad.
My theme for my performance, I guess, is just ruminations and just playing with words. Sometimes I climb a pine about the valley of my mind, to stage a stage dive to an alley I can find where it runs, jumps, and walks always in a straight line. I whisper to my pipe that I'm lost and try to find the shine of the sun, glittin' sprinting off the vines, the telephone lines cloaked in black like outlines of the nihilist survivalist I grow myself to be, reminded of my roots like a tree's memories. My steez is just that, never followed by rat packs. Crack Dutch's got it filled up with fat sacks. Backtrack to the flat little alley where I'm at, full of nosy bitches and fat cats talking smack. Itching for a blister to pop like poison sumac, sick of all that. Itching disappointed with lameness. My playlist, I made it to regularly evade this. Emulated, I slip silent through a gate and find myself on a crowded street and I'm naked. But that's only negative related to how you take it. Trotting and flopping, I will never stop and be myself till I'm dead. Rolling up in a brown coffin, my homie coughing to the tip of a blunt cleat burning red. So remember me, my friend, and what I said. I find respite and compensation from electric relaxation, cause the sounds of my generation hit the flex regurgitation. Same thing spit up and fed to you by your papa, acting like the shit but end up a shit talker. Arrogance, irreverent, selfishly dependent on ulterior media or mediocre up here. In this story, you fool, you are the main character. The flaw that you make is when you test your caliber against mine. It's a crime and my law is supremely powerful. Definitely prime, my lines are of the optimal helicopterful, rocketful, never stop it till dropperful, said the pocketful is shocking cool, optimal rocket fuel. Wrenched in by my rhyming tool, explicitly said, I may not wish I were dead, but I'm penning my elegy cause I know it'll get read. 9 and a 10 and a year since the bed was shaking while my folks were slicing like I was bread. Bread, Brad, butter is whatever, uncover my brother, never peep a shutter cause my shutters don't flutter. I stay awake, vibrating from a passing glance from rest, but I don't get any anymore.
Give it up one more time for Brad. Alicia, do you have some feedback?
I really enjoyed your flow, and I think you had like a lot of witty lines in there. I would say next time, like step up to the mic more. So you sounded really quiet, and I feel like you didn't get to connect as much with the audience as you could. And you had a lot that you were saying, and you know, you want to make that connection next time. It was a dope piece, though.
Corey?
Indeed. So my polish would be to enunciate more, so we can hear all the words crisply, and also your hands in your pockets, so nonverbal communication as well. And my praise would be, it's a very colorful poem, a lot of amazing words, and your rhythm was on point too, so good job.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Brad.
I feel like I could have had more style, but I definitely gave it my best shot.
Coming to the mic now, we have Lindo, yes. Please, make some noise for Lindo, yes.
Depression is a bullet with no name, and I've been held at gunpoint, joy stolen from my being, me left bleeding, feeling too weak, feeling more weak than there are in a year, feeling too weak, 14 days. This is more than a phase or a cry for help or playing a victim in the people court. They judge me, innocent. But yet I feel guilty for the cause and effect that allow me still in this moment, mannequin. Man, I can't get myself out the position they bring me in. I mean, let's check out the crime scene. The irony of sadness looking trigger happy, aiming at me. Tragedy and depression is a bullet with no name and no trigger warning. Bang! Thank you.
Lindo, yes. Danny?
You know, what really intrigued me is how topical it was. With so much going on nowadays, with people getting killed, you were right on point. So I really connected with the poem, and I also connected with your performance of the poem. So I think it was a great job.
And Alicia?
I really enjoyed the poem. The wordplay and your gestures were very on point. I do feel like it was very short and to the point where I wanted to definitely hear more about, you know, how it's affecting people, who it's like you had parts in there where you touched it, but not as much as going into it. And I feel like you could have definitely went into it more.
Thank you, judges. Please give it up one more time for Lindo, yes.
The judges pretty much kind of affirm all my feelings about my performance. It's just like it was short. I felt a little shaky about it. I needed to bring them more in, and just like I did an overall great performance of it as far as just like the physicality of everything I was performing.
It's stuff like this that made me flood the world before, and guess what's about to happen again? I bet we are nowhere near God's favorite planet.
Your fiery passive passion still will not be able to dent its ebon magnificence.
Letters be in my closet, fresher than evergreen, living heavily while you'll never see several jeans on me cause I'm whiting.
You are watching season 6 of Drop the Mic. Keep on watching.
And coming to the mic now, we have Black Cancer. Please put your hands together for Black Cancer.
I'm just trying to make it, taking steps, escalating till I'm escalating. Cause when better days hit, I'm basing. Plus I won't be living in the devil's basement. Metal quaking in neighborhoods where devils makeshift is crazy. See, hella hitting got worse in this city. How the fuck you turn up and niggas standing or they sitting, yet they feel it in their bones when cancer get to spitting. Can't deny raw talent, kinda rapping for their lyrics, that's apparent. You got the lights, I bring the action with the cameras. It's time to Hollywood. For years you gonna be filming. Me disappearing is not an option unless I play the background, but credits you'll see me grinding. Behind the scenes I cheddar green till I'm rotten. Privacy is better seen when it's private. Letters be in my closet, fresher than evergreen, living heavily while you'll never see several jeans on me cause I'm whiting. Linen pants and shirts, sandals on eating whiting. Beach beside him and my chick, shit. You don't fantasize how I live, I done dungeon struggle. Fuck, I'm tired of the bottom pits. So what you saying? See, my family need food to eat, so I can't be in foolery. I'ma drop this heat and move my peeps the fuck out of the hood. We gotta live good. So what you saying? See, eye candy is jewels and jeeps. Being hot Miami, cruise the beach. Be lobster, shrimp, and foods of sea. My grub pile tearing it down. Who cares of you clowns who never eat? Niggas don't like that I never speak. I was taught to mind your business, you don't know a nigga. That's another sense of proper respect that's never peeped. So these people think you Hollywood set, Los Angeles. Let these niggas never hop off they step and stand and greet. So hop off my dick, don't plan to beat, pause. Who the fuck is you to judge? Mutual respect is given and received. You don't plan to speak, I ain't losing. See, my view is funds, moving tons, rule of thumb, do you, let the world view you as dumb. Cause when you moving up, they view as slums. They view as bum cause they ain't doing them. Simple way to ruin them is always stay on your move. Even when you sitting down, handling emails till one day you'll be sitting crowned. A palace is my living grounds. So every idea I parachute off the roof to get it down, 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 down. Get it, down, 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 down. Get it, down, 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 down. I get it down every time that I spit around, nigga, get it down. So keep your faith in God, cause people disappoint. If they misconstrue what you do, then they done miss the point. What you say is lesser. Make your action show to that shit, slap them in the face, and they had a proof. What you saying? That's it.
Give it up for Black Cancer. Alicia, do you have some feedback?
I like your energy. I think your gestures were on point. I think you have to be more mindful of your energy in a mic and how like certain parts will be so loud that it actually get lost. And I was going to say as well, like punch that last line opposed to like just like, all right, that's it. Punch the last line because you had so much energy throughout and then you're like, all right, whatever, that's it.
Corey.
Yeah, indeed. Your tempo was on point. The facial expressions, the hand gestures, you really put us in your vibe and your energy. Talk about down bottom of the pit, you took us there, right? And you brought us all around, showed us around, brought us back up, took us like a roller coaster ride. It was really intense. And in that intensity, like Alicia was saying, sometimes they can get lost in translation. So, make sure you keep us there. But besides that, it was amazing.
Ills Wills.
You know what I mean? Yes, that was lovely. The performance, physical, I loved all that. I love the fact that you use, a lot of the time up as well. So, keep up the good work. Thank you.
And Danny.
Yeah, you remind me of somebody else who got the first name Black.
Hey, last year, respect.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed it. I don't have any criticism whatsoever about it. It felt polished. Felt like you knew it. You went through it. You performed it. It was done. And I like the way you ended it. So you good, man. You good.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Black Cancer.
I like my performance. Could I have done better? Yes, in my opinion. So I expect to do better next time.
And coming to the mic now, we have Nick Gross. Please, put your hands together for Nick Gross.
You walk down the street on a summer day. The sun is gentle, it warms your face. Hit with a breeze, you feel joy all over. The flowers try to match your aroma. Shorts and a tank top are appropriate for the season, and you don't need a reason to show off your glow. You looked at yourself before you left the house, and you realized that you love what God created. The birds are chirping, and you swear they are singing a song just for you. Nothing can ruin your day, except for the wolves that love to prey. They smell your blood from a mile away. You're a woman now, at least in their eyes. They stare you down in broad daylight. The wolves do not care. They do not try to hide. You are nothing more than prey to them, a tasty, tender treat. They hear you walking, they walk behind you. If they get your attention, you are fucked. If they don't, they will hunt you down until you are fucked. Sweat trickling down your back looks so good the wolves could almost taste you. The wolves move quicker. It's the hunt that excites them. They can't wait to tear you apart, spit you out, dig their claws in their flesh. They want to mark you with their teeth, expose your insides, taste all your secrets, and tell the other wolves about this kill. You are nothing more than prey to them, a tasty, tender treat. If you can make it during the day, you better get home before the night. They will blame you for your own slaughter. You shouldn't come out the house looking so tasty. The full moon is coming. It will bring more wolves this way. In the darkest hour, they will cause more dismay. But no time is safe, not even when it's gray. The wolves prey during the day. Thank you.
One more time for Nick. Danny?
Yeah, I think the poem was very empathic. I mean, I think you reached out and you were feeling what other people go through, and I really appreciate that. And I think that's the grounding of a good poet, to be able to express something that other people are feeling and connect with them. But I do believe your delivery needs a little more polish. I think you were a little nervous and it showed, but I think the poem itself was very cool. Thank you.
And Corey?
Definitely. I think that the subject matter is great. You were really, you could tell that it came from a place of love and care. And again, like Mr. Simmons said, really feel it and get comfortable with it. You have great wordplay, the scenes are real dope, and then just, close your eyes and get into the scene and, show us what you see.
Thank you, judges. Please make some noise one more time for Nick Gross.
I feel like the judges really liked my content. My performance, I felt like a little shaky. I just kind of got super nervous up there. So we'll see what happens.
And coming to the mic now, we have TJ Bash. Please make some noise for TJ Bash.
The struggle and strife one goes through to expand educational parameters and return to school, all because I have aspirations and goals and mama didn't raise no fool. I come from a long line of educators, some academic, some from the streets, the most articulate hood philosophers you ever come to meet. We've become conditioned to believe this farce of an American dream that didn't initially include us, so we try twice as hard to get half as much. The black tax on services rendered. I treat it as an annoying friend of a friend I hesitate to greet. Still, the struggle is real, where I use school to get away from home and home to get away from the house, all while rationalizing it's all for a greater purpose, so I feel better about ignoring my family members, children, and spouse. On the real, this guilt trip has valleys, mountains, and plateaus. Depending on what grades I get, determining how far it will go. Test anxiety so bad I vomit. My midsection is rounder now, so you know damn well I've gained more than the freshman 15. And if I have one more group project where my classmates under 21 cause me to be thrusted into the roles I already play, the redundancy of it all will just allow me to sit there and scream. In a degree path that is so competitive that I feel like there's actually an I in the word team, sometimes I think, am I insane or just glutton for punishment? Is this a nightmare or a dream? Now, you may think this is so pessimistic. Oh no, she has to be done. But as you know, in order to acknowledge and have gratitude for greatness, you must look at what you've been through and what you have overcome. I'm labeled as a non-traditional student, and I wear it as a badge of honor on my chest as I leap through obstacle courses intertwined by maintaining the balance of school, work, and life, selfishness aligned with self-care or short-term necessities in order to break through the glass ceiling to maintain the longevity of success. It will all be worth it when I move from my tassel from left to right. See you in 2020. God bless and good night.
TJ Bash. Alicia?
I think it was a very relatable poem. Although it didn't have like a whole bunch of emotion, I do feel like it was still relatable, and people like myself, I get it. I also feel like once you know this poem, it could become a really great performance piece, because although I do feel like it was like all over, you kind of feel like that as a college student. Sometimes you feel like you're all over the place and then you snap back in. So I do feel like once you learn this poem, it could become a really dope performance piece.
And Ills Wells.
Yes. So I think that was more of a brainstorm for the poem to come. I think and it got across. I understand what you were saying. It got everybody's attention, but I think that that was like a rant without like the anger. You know what I mean? But keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Please put your hands together one more time for TJ Bash.
It was nerve-wracking. I'm really not as confident as I was before, but I got through it.
DTM, drop the mic, man. DTM, drop the mic, man. DTM, drop the mic, man. Here I am, Black Can, the effing man. Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, CCP.
Coming to the mic, we have Max. Please put your hands together for Max.
In my 5th year of high school, and I think I'm gonna graduate, parents moved to Philly, and I thought that I could acclimate. Apartment to myself, and the other kid would salivate. My life went out of sync, and it was difficult to calibrate. Sleeping in, missing school, acting stupid. When I went to class, I was absolutely clueless. Teachers assumed that I was just being a nuisance, a failure of a student whose education was useless. Ever since the 5th grade, I've had this grave feeling that I would become a bum and never reach my ceiling. Guess I was right all those years ago, when I couldn't sleep, crying hysterical. I would stay up Sunday night before school, think about the work I owed and call myself a fool. In those PTA meetings, I was told I was intelligent. When it came to grades, though, my brain was irrelevant. Failed almost every class, feeling like an idiot. Meanwhile, my teachers still tell me that I'm brilliant. Just a stupid, smart kid caught up in the system. Out of desperation, asked my doctor for assistance. I thought if I started taking Ritalin, I would stop fidgeting and start listening. For a couple weeks, that was exactly the case. Started doing well in school with no expression on my face. Lost my appetite, and then I started losing weight. Soon enough, those years of pain turned right into hate. I hate drugs. I hate teachers. I hate crimes classified as misdemeanors. I hate GPAs. I hate being suspended. I hate that my teachers think that I was seeking attention. I hate school. I hate the NYC, DOE. I hated all those times that I smoked weed. Most of all, the one thing I really hate was doubting myself, thinking that I made mistakes. Thank you.
One more time for Max. Corey?
Yeah, definitely. You have kind of this monotone vibe going, which I think works for you and the style of your poetry. You can have like a guru kind of thing going. You have a lot to say that's impactful, and the way you deliver it, I think, is aligned with the message. However, at some points, I felt like you were trying to find words to glue together to fit, as opposed to letting it flow. So in the future, let it flow, because you have a lot to say. So yeah, keep going.
Ills Wills?
You know what I mean? I love how at the end you came and let everybody know, hey, I feel good about myself, and I like what's going on. I think also it's like people are doing like 2 different levels. There's like one level where you're really going at it hard, and there's another level to where though if I just be kind of mellow and like I'm shaky and low, then I can still make it to like the next part of the competition. But this is a competition, and we need people to put some oomph in it. And if you are shy, then you might not make it to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Give it up one more time for Max.
Yeah, I think it was all great feedback. And this is my first time performing in like a while.
It's stuff like this that made me flood the world before, and guess what's about to happen again? I bet we are nowhere near God's favorite planet.
Your fiery passive passion still will not be able to dent its ebon magnificence.
Letters be in my closet, fresher than evergreen, living heavily while you'll never see several jeans on me cause I'm whiting.
This is season 6 of Drop the Mic. You gotta keep watching.
I do want to introduce our featured poet. I'm just very honored and so happy and excited to have him here today. So anybody who knows me knows that like when I host and I have poets who come and they're performing, that I tend to share like some kind of personal story about them, which may or may not embarrass them. But I'll try to keep this like really quick. But you know, Marquise is someone that I've known for a very long time. I've probably known him for about 12 years. And he is someone who was part of my original poetry crew, right? Actually, there are a few of them. I guess I won't point them all out, but there are a few of them that are here today who are part of my original poetry crew who founded the Spoken Word Poetry Club here at Community College of Philadelphia. And I've said this before, and you know, and it's something that I'm always, you know, I just feel so privileged and honored to be able to share, no matter how many times that I tell people this. But when I met all of these poets, it was really at a time in my life where I was kind of sick of poetry, right, for various reasons, and I really was contemplating quitting, performing poetry, doing workshops, or having anything at all to do with poetry. And it was, Marquise was one of these poets, one of these young poets at the time who just really, I'm gonna start getting emotional, who really just made me fall in love with poetry all over again. Like, he reminded me why it is that some of us do this. Some of us do it not because we're trying to, you know, make a name for ourselves or be famous or be on a TV show or anything like that. We do it solely because we love it, because we have a passion for it, okay? And so he reminded me of that. And so I will be forever grateful to Marquise for being in my life and for, you know, teaching me that lesson and for helping me to fall in love with poetry again. I think some other things that you should know about Marquise is he is our season 5 champion. So if you could all show your love, make lots and lots of noise, put your hands together for Marquise Wright Lee.
I've been doing poetry going on 10 years now, and one of my focuses is to just help build stages for others coming up to, you know, share their voice.
How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Y'all doing all right? How y'all been enjoying the competition so far? All right, cool. This is for the babies that have yet to find the reverence gifted in their reflection. It is beyond okay to be dark-skinned, to be of a deeper pigment, to be a Godiva-dipped chocolate-filtered god amongst men, to be above a 450 and 50 foundation. There's no mistaking why you were chosen for a longer bacon. You were meant to be well done. Like Apollo saw you and said, this would be a good place to park so this one can be inundated with vitamin D, vitamin damn, vitamin dark and decadent, draped in a delightfully dashing, heaven-sent melanin casing child. You drenched in so much fine and elegance, it's illegal for you to be basic. Face it, you too radiant to have your confidence sleep in the basement. Don't that just sound like a contradicting statement? Don't carrying around deflated self-worth feel like an illness waiting, like something ridiculous. The sun did a number on you so much it named you resilience, because how hard it be to burn your brilliance, baby. You are breathtaking. If you dig deeper into darker creations, you'll find that they too can capture fascination. Black holes, for example, have the strongest gravitational pull. Stars only appear visible in the night sky when the lights lose their fuel. A black belt is the highest hue you can earn in martial arts. You've been it from the start. The insults and smart remarks tucked into backhanded compliments will try to chip away at your opulence, but that's what commoners do when their pockets are spent and devoid of self-love. You ain't cute for a dark skin, nothing. You to just be cute. You all the above. So chin up and let your glow take center stage from every angle. You look like God in the shade. When cramps crank a woman's mood down, chocolate helps her elevate. There's no mistaking that you were meant for celebration. that you were molded for elation, for joy, that you look like art, like your epidermis was a canvas and every brushstroke was deliberate. You are magnificent. Dr. Berry's sweeter juice isn't just a mantra. It's a fair warning that you pack enough flavor to have dentists shook. You were put on this earth to serve looks and our eyes are waiting. So bring the order. Even if no one else in the room is cheering, you deserve to be your own biggest supporter. You are a beautiful, wonderful sight. Worthy of love. Worth the fight. Don't give up. Those lesser thoughts deserve to hold a grudge because of how strong you stand in your conviction of self. The mirror only shows you an oasis of gold, so never be afraid to drown in your own wealth. On sight, you will be judged every day of your life, but so long as you shine on them like a 10, then all other scores are irrelevant. Thank you. So we're gonna do some fun stuff. We're gonna talk about some things. Can we talk about some things? Y'all good to talk about some things? You know, we gonna talk about some things. All right. A friend puts up a post slamming the state of Georgia for criminalizing abortions, and there is a mix of replies. One guy says, well, if you don't want a baby, don't get an abortion. Put it up for adoption. To which my friend responds, how does your theory apply to pregnancies of incest, pedophilia, or rape? He gives a statistic, but only for rape. A woman comments, God can use any situation for good, and I feel like God looked down and said, y'all need to keep my name out your mouths. It's stuff like this that made me flood the world before, and guess what's about to happen again? I bet we are nowhere near God's favorite planet. In a galaxy far, far away, where alien niggas are living this life thing right, God has bestowed upon them the gold star of excellence. A planet rated so highly, Jesus resurrected there and found solace. A woman says, God can use any situation for good, and a child born out of force says, I didn't ask for this. A mother learns to love a child, or doesn't. Either way, hates the circumstances all the same, so she would never know peace. A woman says God can use any situation, and a teenage girl not ready for any of this, a victim of naivety, or hormones, or pressure, or a condom breaking, or a boy's deception, or their combined lack of knowledge is silenced, told to stay in a child's place and grow up at the same time. A woman says God can, while the women on the other side ask, well, what about me? And are labeled murderers in their selfishness. Someone says pro-life. And I'm taken back to November 25th, 2017. Robert Louis Deere Jr. opens fire in a Planned Parenthood, and not everyone is upset by this. Some condone murder for the greater good, said if abortions weren't a thing in the first place, this wouldn't have happened, said he was just taking a shot at saving some lives, said that's what those murderers get. Someone says, well, then they should have just kept their legs closed. And 1,000 rape victims are preyed upon once again. 1,000 rapists scream, praise God, and I bet God is tired of all of this. Is frustrated by all of this, says none of this was in the plans. I gave y'all the blueprints, the architects, the materials, wonders if a wash would even cleanse the soil. Y'all praise my name in blood when all I told y'all to do was love. You say that I'm the only one that can judge, yet you kick your feet up in my chambers, play dress up in my robes, use my courtroom as a movie set, as signing roles, however you sees fit, looks towards Gold Star Planet, trying to remember its formula for success. A woman says God, and God grows silent in disbelief of all the chaos. Thank you. All right, so I got one more for y'all. Wrap up this set with a nice little bow. Bring back energy for y'all. Got it. They got us screaming, Black Lives Matter, like we didn't already know that. Like our accolades don't go back like faux flats been sitting at the top of the mountain, like goat tracks unstepped on, like new flow masters been us. We've been dope, been gods. I've seen black lives be shattered and piece themselves back together. Black lives got magic colonizing in our veins. Our hearts pump diamonds. We sweat determination. Speak with lips coated in perseverance. See Misty Copeland. See Serena Williams, see Simone Biles, see passion personified with potential poison pop from our skin like pimples, up from the roots with or without extensions, straight from the soul with peas up in the kitchen, baby. We bad like we got a season pass for detention, fresh on flare up, and we'll never go into remission. This is us. So never question the relevance of your melanin fact. Even though everyone wanted to be the White Ranger from the original Power Rangers, Zach is still a cult classic, and even Tommy joined the black ranks in later years. We've been live. Been the sky's motivation to remain fly, never apologize for your ebony. But if you find your tongue daring to betray you, I hope the sarcasm packed neatly in your bones explodes and swells the wells of your middle fingers so they erect like statues. Use God, okay? So never be sorry about your pimp C, even if world brands you outcast. The net of your self-worth should never fall below 3G's, CC. All my people on this one here. Subject, beautiful beyond belief. My name is Marquise Riley. Thank y'all for listening.
One more time for Marquise.
I enjoy being able to come here to community college and be a part of this community of writers, of performers, of people that just love being creative. So no matter what aspect I was in, be it a contestant, being a featured artist, I just love the community that this brings together.
But coming to the mic now, we have Annette Hall, AKA the Crystal Moment Collection. Please give it up for Annette.
Okay. I'm gonna need a little participation, not too fast. I just need you to do this, okay? The name of this poem is You Better Be on Time, from the cradle to the grave, or from the womb to the tomb. And your mama said you better be on time, 'cause if you don't, you're gonna break her spine. And your mama said you better be on time. And your doctor said you better be on time, 'cause if you don't, he's gonna spank your behind. And your doctor said, and your mama said you better be on time. School bus driver said you better be on time, 'cause if you don't, you'll be left behind. School bus driver said, and your doctor said, and your mama said you better be on time. Teacher says turn your work on time, 'cause if you don't, an F you'll find. And your teacher said, the school bus driver said, and your doctor said, and your mama said you better be on time. Gasman said pay your bills on time, 'cause if you don't, you'll find a fine. And the gasman said, and the teacher said, the school bus driver said, and your doctor said, and your mama said you better be on time. Boss said you better come to work on time, 'cause if you don't, you'll be out of a job. And your boss said, and the gasman said, and your teacher said, the school bus driver said, and your doctor said, and your mama said you better be on time. Bride says come to your wedding on time, 'cause if you don't, she might change her mind. And your bride said, and your boss said, and the gasman said, and the teacher said, your school bus driver said, and your doctor said, and your mama said you better be on time. Your funeral service starts at 9:45, and your pastor's happy you're finally on time. And your pastor said, and your bride said, and your boss said, and the gasman said, and your teacher said, the school bus driver said, and your doctor said, and your mama said you better be on time. Now I'm headed to the cemetery. The hearse makes a wrong turn and is the last vehicle to arrive. Gravedigger said you better be on time. They'll be the last ones to let you down. Gravedigger said, and your pastor said, and your bride said, and your boss said, and the gasman said, and the teacher said, your school bus driver said, and the doctor said, And your mama said you better be on time. You better be, you better be. You better be, you better be. You better be, you better be on time.
Annette Paul, AKA the Crystal Moment Collection. Ills Will.
Yes, so that was lovely. Me and Tom, I'm always trying to figure it out. You know, it takes time to learn. And I also had like a original poets type of feel coming from with the beat. Definitely the frequency is lifted in the room. So thank you.
Danny.
Whoa. Great delivery, unique, it was fun. There was a lot of audience participation. I mean, not just the finger snapping, but they were participating in their heads. You were saying, there's only one small criticism. I was waiting to hear you transition from singing to just direct talking, because I thought there were a couple of places, instead of just singing all the way through, you might have stopped and delivered it as word, without the song. I think that would have made it a little more powerful, but it was amazing. It was fun, and I enjoyed it so much. Thank you, judges.
Please put your hands together one more time for Annette Hall, AKA the Crystal Moment Collection.
I think it went pretty good, I think.
Here, what's good, what's poppin', what's hood, what it is, what it do, what's up. This is Lindo, yes, and you already know, and this is Drop the Mic.
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 Yeah, CCP.
Hey, this is season 6 of Drop the Mic. Keep watching.
And coming to the mic now, we have Ken Pachi. Please make some noise for Ken Pachi.
It's funny how you fool me like Sosuke Aizen, stabbing me in the eyes, leaving me blinded. Writing with your pen, beautiful pen called Koiga Sogetsu. I should have just stayed to myself and wished that I never had met you. I should have rejected you, but I fell into your beautiful hypnosis of your pen called Koiga Sogetsu. I'm feeling so damn off. This is what happens when I become so damn soft and kind-hearted, not really realizing that I was outsmarted. But I'm glad that we really departed. My sister Janae once said, "This is why I don't like people." And I start to feel the same way. Because they wait until you start moving like a snail, and then cut you down and smile at you with betrayal, and putting you through hell in this corrupted world, putting your mind in never-ending twirls. Thank you.
One more time for Ken Pachi. Alicia.
I like your swag, first of all. Shout out to you, But as far as the poem goes, I feel like I've seen the blindfold, like when you're not looking. I've seen that work, and I feel like with this poem, because there were like parts that I could relate to, I actually wanted the eye contact. I actually wanted the feeling, because it was something there, and I feel like you could have delivered better, more with actually engaging with the audience with this type of poem.
And Corey.
Yes, definitely enunciate and take your time. The length of the poem wasn't as long, so taking your time and really like giving it to us, delivering it to us. But your realness, it's definitely infectious. From the beginning, I was intrigued in your interpretation of the poem with the blindfold. I think was really cool. So good job.
Thank you, judges. Please make some noise one more time for Ken Pachi.
It was really good. They gave me good feedback. They said that I have a poetry mind, but they gave me some things that I need to work on.
And coming to the mic now, we have Aj. Please make some noise for Aj.
A little tiny girl climbs a maple tree, laughing with her brother, playing hide and seek. Pink ribbons in her hair, not a care in the world. Innocent smiling as she's rocking on his knee. Now, walking down the hall with a mini dress on, sense the spirit of rebellion as she goes into a room. Class is empty, all the school kids are gone. She slowly kneels down and unzips his pants. Where are the prayers? Mama on her knees. Daddy protect the house, but he stay in the bar. White sheets hanging on the line in the wind. Storm coming. Can't you smell the sweet rain? Lay down with dogs and get up with fleas. Riding with some fella to the general store. Don't know his name, but it really doesn't matter. Blouse open wide, gold trestles grabbing air. She popping gum, he smokes a cig from his ear. At the lake with the jugs, drinking white lightning, laying on the blanket as he professes that he loves her. Panties half down, a lazy smile on her face. From the trees, 5 shadows do descend in the dark. Where were the prayers? Mama on her knees. Daddy protect the house, but he stay in the bar. Grasshoppers eat while the ants do store. Summer's done, feel the cool moon rising. Lay down with dog and get up with fleas. The children see a man that they pretend is daddy. He gives them a candy bar that was 5 days in his pocket. They play a game where you seek the one that's truly hiding. A broken face, a crooked smile, again kneeling, sucking and begging. She wipes the mirror with a towel so it can see her face. Shiner on her eye, she licks a busted blue lip. She washes her face and puts some makeup on. A dress on the bed, innocent prints on the spread. Where were the prayers? Mama on her knees. Daddy protect the house, but he stay at the bar. A fish going to bite as mosquitoes draw blood. You see the old skin the moccasin left? Lay down with dogs and get up with fleas.
Give it up for Aj. Danny, do you have any feedback for Aj?
It was a very heart-wrenching poem. I really felt it. It was well delivered. I think when you change pages, there were some breaks that should, but that's about the only criticism. I really enjoyed it, and I think that you felt it and you delivered it like you felt it. So, you know, it was definitely real. Thank you.
Alicia.
One of my favorite things about this poem is that it was a very heavy topic, but your voice and the way you choose to tell the story made it easier for us to listen to. I actually kind of wish you didn't give the backstory because I think it would have made it even more powerful without knowing where you were going, because your poem conveyed that message throughout. And I think the imagery that you set up for each story or for each part of the story was really creative and really dope.
Thank you so much. Thank you, judges. Please show your love one more time for Aj.
Thank you. Spoken word is saying what's on your heart and what's driving your soul, what motivates your inner self.
And closing out the first round of the second audition show of season 6 of Drop the Mic is Dwight. Please show your love for Dwight.
On the night you were born, we told you we would tell you this, but you were sent to the earth with so much haste, the moon almost wasn't in place to kiss your arriving aura. On the night you were born, we told you we would tell you of your noble lineage, and baby boy, you are a god cloaked in the skin and satire of man. Baby boy, if your skin was marbled and carved of the finest chocolatier's craft, your fiery passive passion still would not be able to dent its ebon magnificence. They call me Magnus, as if my skin wasn't already desecrated in a copied fashion, as if managing magnetism was harder on a floating planet, as if I was from some sort of distant leisure. Why do they beseech me? Why did you leave me dreaming, sleeping lucidly, dreaming of crayon conundrums and epiphanies? I would have been better off as a preacher giving liturgies to my enemies. Better yet, I would have been better off as a preacher giving energy to and synergies to my enemies. I would have been better off as a preacher giving liturgies to my enemies. Too bad for synergy, because I have to breathe what they produce like the air. It enters me, and my nightmares are filled with vermin, krakens, and centipedes that erase any notion of your gift to me, their serendipity. So now stupidity is worn so mystically here, yet destruction is prophesied as the end of me here. My dear, my people, this is a call to arms for the water we drink, for all the places we call home, whose arms have been outstretched and embodied by a faceless silhouette waving a clairvoyant fist of the same hand. We're scolded with a finger, reminding us of our silent oppression. Now is the time to lead. Make no mistake of gauging the weight of sin and transgression against the sanctity of solitude, my people. Make no mistake, my people. Make no mistake of gauging the weight of sin and transgression against the sanctity of solitude, my children. You are all seeds on the lawn encompassing the grandest structure on this side of the galaxy. Make no mistake of your noble lineage and fight like the name of your world suggests.
Put your hands together for Dwight.
Yes.
Corey, do you have some feedback?
I do. Good job. So take your time with the words and between the words, right? So I feel like during this poem, your mind went before your mouth. And sometimes you like everything's in your head and it can go before and you know can get jumbled up. So take your time, but the message was there. But yeah, just take your time next time. Indeed, good job.
Ills Wills.
Yes, sir. Yes, that was Najee Rumba. I like that. I think the silence in the beginning, I don't know if you was like gathering your thoughts or whatever, but I think that was actually like a good like trigger warning for people to like, okay, this guy's about to go and do it. So if anybody that has to do trigger warnings, that would be good. And your mistake that you made in the middle of it, that was like a bounce back to the point to where it would bore everybody more into you to help, and then we paid more attention once you bounced back, and that was lovely. Thank you.
Danny.
I do think that your silence at the beginning was a little too long. I think, it was like, okay, we're waiting. The poem was great. The poem was dope. When you lost it, though, and you recovered nicely, but losing it, especially when you're on camera in front of an audience, does have consequences. And so be aware, even though you recovered, there's a consequence for that break and for that. And so you got to be aware that you didn't deliver the poem as well as you could have delivered it.
Alicia.
As everybody said about setting yourself on stage, I think that's very important. But actually, like, you have to take that time to settle down and jump into the poem. And I feel like you know the poem, but you chose a lot of, which was one of my favorite things about this piece, you chose a lot of intricate word choices. So when it's time for you to spit and flow, it's like you get a little ahead of yourself and you have to like go back. I think that's really dope, though. One thing you have to do is actually know it, learn it, and then when you spit it, it's just flow, because it's a really dope piece when you actually listen to it.
Thank you, judges. Please make some noise one more time for Dwight.
Spoken word is the reciprocation of energy between one or more parties. And in this particular case, it's a competition in front of an audience, in front of judges who will critique. And I feel as though that poets have a job to tell a story. They have a job to inspire, motivate, aspire, and create, a very unique experience for the crowd and the audience.
And can we also put our hands together one more time for all the poets who performed today in the first round of the second audition show of season 6 of Drop the Mic. Thank you all.
People say all the time that it's what's in your mind that shows how sublime and divine you are. But so far, we haven't touched any of that. This is a fact that we are all here for a specific reason. We are the seasons. We are the sun children, kissed in numerous ways, to pave in spite. This is Drop the Mic.